Our first guest has been a friend of mine for 15 years. I know I look 14, but yes, I've been on this planet time. Jenna Wolfe is a journalist who worked in local news before getting her first big break, even working in the building as a weekend sports anchor at ABC 7's Eyewitness News, right in this building we're in right now. But before her big network break, where we crossed paths, we actually started working at NBC News on the very same day. We walked into this little, we'll tell you about it when she comes out. But my very first professional friend was Jenna Wolfe. And Jenna knows news, she knows sports. She's also a personal trainer and a mom of two awesome daughters, Harper, who's 10, Quinn, who's 8. It always seemed, to be honest with you, like when I would look at Jenna, I would say, there's nothing she couldn't handle. She's one of the strongest people I know, mentally and physically. But while she's covered a wide range of stories for a long time, the heart-wrenching story unfolding her personal life over the past 2 years has challenged her like nothing else. Take a look. For as long as she can remember, Jenna Wolfe's mom, Sheila, has been her example of courage and strength. Whether it was escaping political unrest in Jamaica when Jenna was 5 years old, or later, as a teenager when they arrived in New York fleeing a violent coup in Haiti, Jenna has called her mom her rock. With that determination in her DNA, Jenna was empowered as a journalist, and her stories made her stand out, earning her a coveted job in network news. But in 2020, a phone call changed Jenna's life forever. Her mom, Sheila, shared that she was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer, and because it was at the height of the pandemic, Jenna could not be by her side during her chemotherapy and radiation treatments. On Instagram, Jenna shared, "Not one single moment, not throughout chemo or hospital stays or stitches or lonely nights did you ever complain. Never, not one bad day. You are the strongest woman I've ever met in my entire life." Sheila bravely beat cancer, but she discovered she had a harmful mutation of the BRCA gene, which meant she carries a higher risk of breast, ovarian, and other cancers. And because it's genetic, that meant Jenna might be carrying it as well. And when testing confirmed Jenna had it too, she knew exactly what she had to do. So after much soul searching, Jenna has decided to speak out about the decision that she made that made headlines. It is to honor the survivors of breast cancer and Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Jenna is here to share the rest of her story for the very first time to a television audience. Tam fam, please welcome my very brave friend, Jenna Wolfe, to the show.
I feel great. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. So here come the secrets.
So this is what you're doing now?
Yeah, this is what I do now.
Okay.
You
Because you never call me back. So I didn't know what you were doing.
We text constantly. In fact, Jenna is a fitness guru and we've worked out together. So the team said, can we show video of you working out together? And I said, no, never. I deleted them all because they all include me just sweating breathlessly.
By the way, it was Tamron, do 10 push-ups. She goes, I'll give you 3. I'm like, it was always a negotiation.
I'll give you 3. That is clearly Jenna. You have always, as I said to the audience, been physically strong, formidable. We started the very first day at NBC for the Today Show. They put us in this tiny little office. That's us. I was dressed as Katy Perry and Elmo.
With the Elmo?
I don't know.
It made no sense.
And that's you as Snooki.
I was Snooki.
This was Halloween. But we just hit it off. 2007, we hit it off.
Yep.
So I don't know how many weeks ago, we check in on each other from time to time. And we started talking about this thing that was happening to you.
Correct.
You had learned from your mother that you had the BRCA1 mutation.
Correct.
And that means that puts you at a lifetime risk for breast cancer, ovarian cancer in the double digits, somewhere around 70% risk.
Correct. Well, they'll tell you what your risk is based on what your age is. And when they sat down and we went through all the numbers before I decided whether I was going to have surgery or not, it was 44%. So I was basically walking around with a 1 in 2 chance of having breast cancer. The doctors were surprised I hadn't had it yet, and ovarian cancer.
I remember you saying the doctor said...
They said, it's amazing that you actually haven't had breast cancer yet. But my mom, surprisingly, she didn't get it until she was 70 or so. So it was a long time for her. But I was inevitably probably going to get breast cancer, if not ovarian cancer as well.
And so that meant you were faced with a decision, which included major surgeries. And in the past 8 months, you've had 3 major surgeries.
I have, yes.
They are a double.
First I had a full hysterectomy, and then 3 weeks later I had a bilateral mastectomy, and then a month and a half, 2 months after that, I had a full reconstruction. So each time was starting from scratch again. It was trying to get my mind and soul and body strong, and then go back in, and they sort of break it down for a good cause, but then you get strong again, and then we break it back down. And it teaches you nothing but perseverance and resilience, and you learn that life isn't always linear. It's not always A to B, and it's gonna zigzag throughout. And I had 2 choices. I was either gonna why me myself through it and complain, or I was gonna face it like we face everything else, you know, head on.
I think a lot of people first heard about this mutation with Angelina Jolie. I think that we were back at the Today Show covering that story, and that's when people started talking about this BRCA1 mutation. And in People magazine, you talked about undergoing the hysterectomy and a double mastectomy. You said, when I get something in my head, it's just do it. Let's move forward, and that's how I have to live my life. It sounds good in words.
Right.
But I know you have 2 children.
Right.
Your mother was recovering. There were tearful nights.
Sure.
There were difficult nights. So I don't want people to think that you just talk to a doctor and then suddenly I'm gonna do it.
Right. But I watched my mom, who you see her today. She looks great, and she's walking around, and she's happy and strong. But my mom was at such a low. She was the strongest woman I'd never seen my mom cry ever. And she lost her hair, and she lost her fingernails, and she was weak, and she needed water to be able to talk to me on the phone, and there were days that she didn't want to get on and FaceTime with the kids, and I saw this pillar of strength, you know, so weak, and I thought to myself, well, if I give up now, I could be going down that path, and I can't do that to my kids. And she kept apologizing to me. I'm so sorry that I'm doing. I said, Mom, don't apologize to me, you know, because I'm gonna have to turn around and do the same with my kids if I go down this path. And that's sort of what got me through every tough night, every tough decision, because there are no days off. You don't get to tell your kids, give me 8 months, I'm gonna do all these surgeries, I'll be back. Can you fill your water bottles and pack your backpacks? Because they can't. They can't do that. The answer's no. They can't pack
So
their
you
backpack.
saw yourself in the fight for them.
Sure.
But also the bond between you and your mother became it was always beautiful, but it took it to a whole new level of survival.